You guys, Selena Gomez's mom is getting called out by former employees for some pretty wild stuff. We're also talking about Sydney Sweeney possibly making the biggest career comeback ever, Glen Powell and Olivia Jade possibly becoming a thing, Tati Westbrook rebranding, and a Mormon wife as the Bachelorette. We are getting into everything. Now, there was a lot in the Hollywood headlines this week, starting with Ariana Grande's Ticketmaster battle that fans had to endure this week. It was giving Eras Tour level craziness. As pre-sales began earlier this week and demand was absolutely overwhelming, with over 6 million people reportedly trying to get tickets across North America. Fans were stuck in endless queues, many never even making it to checkout, and those who did often faced glitches and errors on Ticketmaster. Nothing new. I remember my ticket battle for the Eras Tour, you guys. I am feeling for everyone that attempted. I saw Ariana back in the day, I think for my 18th birthday, and I saw her at Coachella, and I just felt like I did not want to endure this Ticketmaster battle. If I end up at the concert, I end up at the concert, but it was looking like a rough battle on Ticketmaster this week. Shows sold out almost immediately, leading many to believe only a small portion of the tickets were actually released to the public. And to make things worse, of course, resale prices have already skyrocketed, and accusations of Ticketmaster favoring bots and scalpers are once again making the rounds. It's nothing new, but it's certainly giving everyone Eras Tour flashbacks.
There were 1 million people trying to get Ariana Grande tickets today. I'm not joking. Any over that much. Literal screenshots.
Ticketmaster! Ticketmaster! Do we have beef? What the is wrong with you? How are we in the queue? There's 2,000 people ahead of us, 15 minutes in, everything's sold out. How many tickets did you sell yesterday?
Now, as for some surprising news this week, they announced the Bachelorette. Taylor Frankie Paul from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, literally from the swinging TikTok drama, is going to be the next Bachelorette. And I do feel like they wanted to keep it in the ABC, Hulu family because The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has been a really big hit on Hulu, and ABC obviously does The Bachelor. And people have been asking them for a switch up. They wanted to see a change in the Bachelor franchise, and I feel like they felt like, well, The Mormon Wives is a hit. Let's put Taylor Frankie Paul, someone who's never been involved in the Bachelor franchise, on the show as the Bachelorette and see how it goes. They had Alex Cooper do the announcement, I believe, because she is coming out with a dating show on Hulu, so she's pretty in with the ABC Hulu family. So for her to give this announcement, I think it made sense for them. It's going to be really interesting. I think they are definitely going to have to cast either ex-Mormons, guys with kids, older guys, because I just feel like a 23-year-old Brad or Chad straight out of college is not going to understand Taylor at all and relate to her and ready to step up to be a father of 3. So we'll see how the casting goes for this, but I'm interested to know if you guys are going to be tuning in to this next season of The Bachelorette. Now, as for someone who has been facing a lot of outrage recently, Sydney Sweeney has been in some scandals, but now there's actually been an interesting conversation added to the mix. The reviews are coming in for Sydney Sweeney's new movie, Christy, and after its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, some are saying this just might be her Oscar moment. The film follows the story of Christy Martin, who was a boxer in the 90s, and this has been an insane year, as we know, for Sydney Sweeney, especially the past month, like the whole good genes of it all. But even still, with all of that in the headlines, it still seems like she might be coming out on top after people have seen Christy. Like, look at these tweets after some people have seen the film. Sydney Sweeney delivers a very mature performance, fully immersing herself in the role of boxer Christy Martin with a stunning physical transformation. Her punches making her believable in the ring. Her performance is raw and emotionally demanding. It is absolutely brilliant. Variety tweeted the link to their review. Sydney Sweeney fights her way into the Oscar race at TIFF world premiere of Christy, I'm Gonna Cry. Sydney Sweeney absolutely crushes it with an Oscar-worthy knockout performance as boxing legend Christy Martin in Christy, a gripping film that starts off as an uplifting underdog boxing drama and slowly turns into an empowering survival story of DV. Amazing. Christy, I'm allowed at least one crazy, hyperbolic, festival take, and mine is that Ben Foster and Sydney Sweeney are both Oscar winners after today. If her performance is as good as people are making it out to be, she might just have the craziest career turnaround I've ever seen. And if those tweets weren't enough, look at these headlines. With Christy, can Sydney Sweeney rebrand as a serious actress? TIFF top 5 takeaways from Sydney Sweeney entering the Oscar race to crowd pleasers dominating buzz. So after the jeans and the soap and everything, do you guys think she can rebrand as this super serious actress and come back from that PR nightmare of a year? I guess we're just gonna have to see. But as for her co-star in Anyone But You, Glen Powell, he's found himself in some interesting rumors. Olivia Jade and Glen Powell dating rumors were going around this week, but then she showed up at the Frankenstein premiere supporting her ex-boyfriend Jacob Elordi a month after their breakup, and everyone's like, what's going on? Are they together? Are they back on? What's the deal? So at the beginning of the week, her and Glen Powell were spotted in New York City at dinner. Allegedly, this dinner that they were spotted at included her parents and his parents. Dumois posted that it seems like they were all meeting for the first time. Things were getting serious between them, and then they went out for a night on the town together. So everyone was like, okay, odd pairing, but it does sound like they are a couple if their families are meeting. But then she was spotted at the Frankenstein premiere, so I'm like, wait, are they actually together or not? Like, she's going to support her ex. That doesn't seem like she's getting serious with Glenn to me, but who knows if it was a PR stunt or what the reason was their families were getting together. Maybe it was a business move. Who the freak knows? I guess maybe we'll find out soon. People are just wondering if she's back with Jacob Elordi. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Only time will tell. But as for some beauty guru news, time and place, and you did it at my birthday dinner. She's back. Tati Westbrook just launched her new beauty brand, Details by Tati, where she is selling luxury makeup brushes. And when I say luxury, I mean it, because $133 for a set of 7 brushes at $19 each, it's giving luxury. In the video where she announced them, she called Details the Rolls Royce of brushes, which, to be honest, they look pretty good, and she put in a big emphasis on them being environmentally friendly, down to the wood and paint used. Now, Tati's past brands have simply not had the best endings. Tati Beauty and Halo Beauty ended in a lawsuit from her former business partner, Clark Swanson. She and her husband were accused of fraud, negligence, breach of fiduciary duties, which means not acting in the best interest of Halo Beauty. It seemed her business partner was upset about Tati Beauty and it affecting Halo Beauty, and it was this whole legal mess that came to an end last year. And she said that in the future, she wanted to relaunch and not have a partner involved. So she wanted to be her own investor for Details, which is her explanation for not having a huge inventory of product right now. This whole thing is just so crazy to think about, because the beauty community on YouTube was so massive at one point that if Tati Westbrook was coming out with a product back in like 2017, it would have made headlines. And when I tell you, I saw her make an announcement about Details and I didn't see one article. I was like, oh my gosh. And then she posted a YouTube video and I was like, this cannot be the only place that we are talking about Tati launching another brand. It's just wild to see how the YouTube community in the beauty space has really transformed over the years, and how TikTokers are involved, Instagram influencers are involved. There's so many people in this space now, and so many people that are reviewing products just on their own. They're not even influencers. They're reviewing everything and anything these days. That, to think about the days where we would sit down and watch these like 40-minute long makeup reviews from these beauty gurus, it's truly wild to think about the fact that that just doesn't happen anymore. I mean, Jeffree is on TikTok live and he's reviewing things on TikTok. He's not sitting down for a YouTube video anymore. The space has completely changed. It's kind of sad. But how are we feeling about Details? How do we think this is gonna do for Tati? I feel like no one talks about Tati anymore unless they're quoting by sister, which is sad because I really liked her palette, okay? I really hope that after she comes out with these brushes, she comes out with an eyeshadow palette, because her palette back in the day, like, I shouldn't be using it still, but it's still intact and I still love those colors. I hope she can dabble in making a palette again, you guys. But anyway, let's get into the craziest story that I heard this week. This has to do with Selena Gomez's mom. And you guys might remember the drama with her mom from earlier this year. It came out that the mental health startup Wondermind, which she founded with Selena and entrepreneur Daniela Pearson, was under fire for financial distress. Employees loosely blamed that on Mandy, who is the CEO of the company now. Basically, Mandy stepped in as the sole CEO back in January of 2023, and Danny, who had been running the company with her as a co-CEO, exited. And this is when things started to go downhill. According to 2 employees, they claimed that Mandy did not have the knowledge to make the brand succeed. And according to these employees, she turned down crucial brand deals if they wanted her daughter Selena to be involved, including multi-million-dollar deals with companies like Airbnb. And these employees claim that decisions like that contributed to the company's financial problems. Though Mandy's chief of staff is saying that she's misrepresented in these statements and that people who might have that opinion might not know what happens behind the scenes of negotiations. And according to Forbes, it seems Selena didn't have a huge role in Wondermind. Now, earlier this year, with the company going down financially, certainly people were looking at Selena because she is worth a lot of money, and they were like, why isn't she helping her mom out? There were rumors that her mom was having to take a loan out to pay people at the company, and they were just like, why is her mom having to take out a loan? It later came out that her mom said Selena took action as soon as she heard there were issues with pay, and that she's put millions of dollars into Wondermind over the years. But now this week, we're learning more about this company and what people are saying about Mandy. And boy, you guys are in for a freaking ride with this one. Last week, The Cut published an article where former staffers of Wondermind questioned Mandy's leadership skills and handling of the company. And they were exposing her, you guys. All of this is alleged from what the employees are saying, but it was crazy. They noted that weird things were going on with her when she was in charge. The Cut wrote, Wondermind had come to expect erratic behavior from their boss, like disappearances that lasted days or even weeks and unpredictable angry outbursts. Since the company was launched a year and a half before, Tiffy had gone through phases of sleeping in her office, where she had 2 couches, she seemed to stay for days without bathing, there was no shower in the suite, and sometimes without changing her clothes. Former staffers claim that Mandy often treated the Wondermind office as her personal escape, explaining overnight stays by saying that she was too busy to drive home, but instead using the space as a refugee from her family life. Employees described seeing her spend hours watching TV during the workday, surrounded by piles of takeout boxes, which sometimes attracted flies. They also recalled large shipments of luxury goods nearly filling an entire room, with one staffer alleging she nearly spent $40,000 at Neiman Marcus. Some of them had some pretty heavy accusations, writing, some employees say the scene was more grim. They believe that Tiffy was sometimes intoxicated. One calls Tiffy's office her drug den. Accounts of what she allegedly used vary. One staff member recalls being in her office when she, as they said, allegedly did some medication with her nose, allegedly it was ADHD medication. Former staffers said nurses frequently visited her office to administer vitamin IV drips, which wasn't unusual, but they noticed that later in the day, a second nurse would come, often to give her liquid Benadryl, which such treatments are sometimes offered for allergies or migraines, but employees felt the frequency was excessive, noting that high doses can act as a sedative and even cause hallucinations. And apparently she had argued that these injections were due to severe allergies and lingering effects from a near fatal battle with COVID and double pneumonia in 2021. But after receiving these IVs, she often appeared drowsy and spoke slowly, which concerned employees. And some suggested that the Benadryl might explain an incident where she once claimed a man had entered the building, which they believed was a actual hallucination, even though she claims that this was something that really did happen. Now, 14 employees of Wondermind, both current and former, sat down to speak with The Cut about their experience at the company. And the article really dove into the rocky relationship between Selena Gomez and her mom, and how at one point they were estranged, but in 2019, Selena was ready to reconnect. And then by 2022 was when they launched this company with Danny. And they detailed how Mandy and Danny did not get along, saying conversations were so contentious that Tiffy's assistant, another says, would turn on a white noise machine to dampen Tiffy's raised voice. Apparently it was tense, it was hostile, and it wasn't exactly shocking when Danny left, but Mandy has denied these accusations and said that this is a gross distortion of the truth about the company. Now, like I mentioned earlier this year, People had blamed Mandy for kind of the downfall of Wondermind, saying that she wasn't utilizing Selena as part of this company enough. Like, she was turning down brand deals that they could be doing with Selena, as she was a literal founder of the company. But The Cut wrote, she resented her public image as Selena's mom, especially now that she was no longer her daughter's manager. That's not enough for her, one staffer said. Now, she denied rejecting deals that had to include Selena, but it is very interesting that these employees allege that she did not want to seem like she was getting this handout from her daughter being a part of this company, and she was very careful to like not do stuff with Selena because she wanted something to succeed on her own and not because of her daughter, and it seems she was very prideful in that, and that might have been the downfall of the company in the end. That was just what was alleged, okay? Now, in regards to how her mom was in the office, some employees did feel like Selena should have intervened and seen that her mom was sleeping in the office and that she clearly wasn't doing well, but Mandy has denied a number of claims about her being unwell, and like I said, she denied that she hallucinated, that somebody came into the building once. She also told The Cut, I started Wondermind because I wanted to help people with mental illness. It's unfortunate that a few disgruntled employees with an axe to grind can spread lies about me and distort the truth. Even more disappointing that the media is willing to amplify their lies. Now, she did talk about her relationship with Selena Gomez, saying that they have a healthy relationship now and they have supportive boundaries. And she noted that Selena saved her from going down a dark path and that their complicated relationship in earlier years was due to her own struggles with mental health. So there was a lot said in this article about what's been going on behind the scenes with Mandy and Wondermind as a whole. And it's pretty crazy to hear some of these stories that happen in the office, mostly because it's still operational and it seems like she's still trying to make the company work. But I certainly want to know what you guys think about what has been said about Wondermind and Selena's mom and Selena seeing her mom like this and all of the employee accusations of what's been going down in the office. Plus, let me know what you guys think about these Sweeney Oscar buzz rumors, the whole Olivia Jade and Jacob Elordi and Glen Powell situation, Tati Westbrook coming out with a new line, and if you got Ariana tickets, let me know, you guys, in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.